You never know what you're going to get with necromancy. It's black magic. You, it's always been accused of being a villain. You know the necromancy. Necromancy, as a necromancer, you well, you are not liked in the world. I can say that from all types of perspectives. I'm not a necromancer myself, but the Catholic organization and a lot of religions do count it as black magic and paganism and all that, and generally frowned upon. But you've never seen a good necromancer. Okay, I lie. I've seen one, and we're going back to Dragon Age when Dorian, because Dorian is a necromancer, and he is a pretty decent guy. So, I mean, he stopped the world from imploding from demons and stuff. So, I see that as a win. One good necromancer. There may be others. If you do know of others, please let me know. That would be great. Just let me know. Tell me their names, and I shall talk to them. And so, with necromancy has been called many things. Undead magic, necro magic, necrodesics, or black/dark amantasy. Now, that's all well and good. But necromancy is a practice of magic involving the communication with the dead. Now, again, pretty damn cool. In death, can you be used after death? Well, necromancy, or necromancers, see that you can be useful after you have perished. AKA, I can bring you back to life as a zombie, but you're not going to have any control of your body. It's just mainly going to be your body. I don't think your soul and mind is really going to be there. It's just your body. It'd be a blind, I don't know, but it's basically a zombie. Or some skeletons. Or a ghoul, technically. In forms. It's either by summoning as a spirits, apparitions, visions, or raising their bodily. So it's quite interesting. For purpose of divination, apart from the means of foretelling future events, discovering hidden knowledge to bring someone back from the dead, or to use the dead as a weapon. Sometimes referenced as a death magic. The term may be used sometimes to be more general sense, referring to black magic or witchcraft. The Dragonborn from Skyrim can be a necromancer technically. Anyone can be a necromancer in any type of game. Well, okay, that's a lie. Mainly, say, an RPG, Skyrim, and then you've also got WoW, Dragon Age, and other games like that. Diablo. They do have the trait of necromancy. If we look at WoW technically has necromancy when it comes to Death Knights. Death Knights do use necromancy and black magic, because you can bring back ghouls and raise minions from the dead. I know. Pretty scary. But we all see that all necromancy is evil, and it pretty much is pretty evil. To obviously bring back someone from the dead is a worse torture than actually being tortured in hell. To come back in a decaying body from somewhere that you're probably at peace with, or that is the real torture of bringing someone back to life. I do not know of this because I've never brought anyone back from the dead. I mean, if I could, then that'd be pretty dope. But it has been obviously it's frowned upon on mostly everything, but it's also used for harming others. So let's see. So thoughts of midnight point out to turning into dark and grey. Wow. The thought of might say that there is not much point to turning the earth into one gigantic graveyard. These people are fools and will understand it anyway. I mean that's necromancy, isn't it? The world is literally just a giant graveyard for you. People die every day. I know that sounds morbid, but it's true. People do die every day. Things do die every day. Animals, your pets, you, people, they can die and you can just bring them back with necromancy. It is it's kind of because you're utilizing the magic roving around the death, bringing back someone from life, yada yada. But you manipulating the dead. But why though? Why does necromancers do this? To discover hidden knowledge? They never use it for good, do they? Oh, let me bring this down. Okay, I'm going to go to a bit of a run. Okay, so I've been doing this little magical lore kind of thing where I do talk about some lore in the magic I'm talking about, like we did blood magic, keepers, and keeper lore, and now we're on necromancy. And I'm just kind of having this as I will talk a little bit about lore, and then I will talk about it in a sense of what I think it is properly, even though there are laws and all that. And, I am reading from a few notes, a few wikis, some fandoms, some D&D books as well, because D&D is another type of fantasy game. I'm not just talking about this is fantasy. Like I could go and look at the books of The Lord of the Rings, because in The Hobbit there is a necromancer also in The Hobbit. There are different types of necromancers, and they're all necromancers. Well, necromancy is pervade in different ways, I guess. But mostly it is you're just bringing back things from the dead. That is the core and main thing about it. You're manipulating death. So that's literally it. So look at the kind of. I know it's very, very, very different, because there are different types of way you can bring something back from the dead. Conjuring it, summoning it from the depths of hell. We've also got mold manipulation, what is death matter, moto skill manipulation, what is dead and undead beings, pain inducement, pain suppression. So basically, necromancy is a form of life force as well. Technically, you can control life force, what is the death aspect. So let's say this. Say someone was in pain. Someone around you, a friend, and you knew necromancy, and you knew pain suppression, and you could suppress their pain while, say, they're fixing up. Is that good? Are they going to feel it after it's been patched up, or Okay, so let's tab this out then. So let's have a look. The power of neutralizing one's sensitivity to physical pain. I mean, that does sound pretty good. Like suppressing one's sense of physical pain. I think that's pretty cool. I mean, you could use that in all different types of ways, really, couldn't you? You know, like the application. Okay, so users can block pain at will, the incapacity of feeling pain or high resistance to the physical pain of kind, allowing them to think clearly and continue to move desperately in grievous injuries. See, that could be fucking great. Say if you're in like, you know, you get like shot or something, you know, like in really big pain, you can, because pain makes you panic, and panic makes you not think properly. So, I mean, that could be really good. Users are able to suppress pain at will. Users are incapable of feeling pain. Users are capable of redirecting pain. So that sounds cool. That sounds cool. I mean, you can like. I just do think that's pretty cool. Let's keep going. So you got a bunch of different like undead manipulations as well. Say like phantasm manipulation, zombie manipulation, vampire manipulation. Necromancers can manipulate vampires because technically they're dead. That is true. Technically they are dead. Wow. So see that sounds pretty cool. You know, vampire gets a bit angry at you, wants to come kill you. I'm a necromancer, fuck you. Vampire manipulation, that sounds cool. Yeah, they also know spirit magic was pretty cool. Soul absorption or soul manipulation. Self-resurrection and resurrection, that's pretty cool. Immortality. Interesting. I don't think necromancers are unkillable. But, you know, that's pretty cool. So let's have a look at the limitations. Anti-magic, magical destructions, that's magic negation, magic sealing, magic energy absorption, maybe weak against animadancy and other life-based powers. That's pretty cool. Field manipulation used against this power. Robots and mechanical beings are immune to necromancy. Technically that would be Technomancy. Don't know if you played the game for that, but that was a pretty good game. Give that a watch. Or a play. In effect, wow. May have no effect on those who have found internal rest. That's very interesting, actually. Internal rest. Eternal rest to anyone says anything. Oh, the power to grant internal rest. What the fuck is eternal rest? Does that just mean just eternal sleep, eternal response, gift of death, peace of death? That's pretty cool. That's pretty dope. I'm just saying, like, it's used in all different types of tabletop games as well. Video games. It was also, it was in everything. Dark Souls, Darkest Dungeon, Castle Crushers, fucking Buffy the Vampire Slayer. Who fucking knew? Darksiders 2, Destiny, Diablo, Dragon Age, a lot of Dragon Age, Elder Scrolls. There we go. We got the Skyrim thing. God of War. Guild Wars 2. I don't know what I have in there. Even League of Legends with the Shadow Isles. That's a whole thing in itself. I mean, I could go for, there's a fucking list and a half of just Mortal Kombat, fucking Skylanders, Middle Earth. Oh, Shadow of War. World of Warcraft, Arthas. Obviously, there you go. See, I was right about one thing. Because like others is like, oh, by the way, yeah, Thriller, Michael Jackson, that had some necromancy in it, zombies is going out there. So that's you got there are known objects. Okay, that's cool. Obviously, like Book of the Dead, and these are, I mean, Book of Dead, I think, is actually I can't remember what it's called, Egyptian. I think it was in The Mummy once. Yes, I watched The Mummy. Yeah, let's go to like some more of the modern. I say modern. It's nothing to do with modern because there is no pathesis of necromancy in the real life anymore. It was more of just like I believe in magic. I believe like there is magic in the world. We just can't see it, and like if you don't believe enough into it, then you just. So let's have a look. The word necromancy is adapted from Latin necromanda. I think that's how you say it. Itself is borrowed from post-classical Greek necromanta, a component of ancient Greek nekros, dead body, which is a minta. Divination means of the component form that was first used by Origin of oh my god, Alexander. I think that's how you say it. Look, I'm bad. In the 3rd century AD, the classic Greek term was Nekia, the episode of the Odyssey in which the Odysseys visit the realm of the dead souls. Rendered as necromancy in Latin, necromancy in 17th century English. Oh, there you fucking go. So let's go down here. Early necromancy was related to, and most likely evolved from, shamanism. Again, that's a whole other thing which calls upon spirits such as ghosts of ancestors. Classical necromancers address the dead in a mixture of high-pitched squeaking and low droning. Hooray harder, hooray harder. Oh yeah. Yeah, like that. I don't know. I tried, okay. Compared to the trace state muttering of shamans, necromancy was prevented throughout the Western etiquette, with records of its practicing in ancient Egypt, Babylonia, Greece, Rome. In this Geographica stubborn reference to, oh my god, necromana, or dividers by the dead, or divinators by the dead. Again, English is not very good to me. As the foremost practices of the divination among the people of Persia, and it is believed to have also been widespread among the people of Chanalia, particularly the Serbians. Okay, Serbians or star worshippers. And Babylonia, the Babylonian necromancers were called Mazuzus or Shaminu. And the spirits they raised were called emus or I don't know, man. Imumu. So I'm not native to theirs, so I'm not. I don't know a lot of Latin, Greek, Persians, and Babylonian. The oldest literary account of necromancy is found in Homer's Odyssey. That's okay. Under the direction of the Circe, a powerful sorceress, Odyssey travelled to the underworld in order to gain insight about the impending voyage home by raising the spirits of the dead through its use of spells which Circe taught him. Okay. He wishes to invoke the question of shade of Terratus in particular. However, he's unable to summon the seer spirits without the assistance of others. The Odyssey passage may contain just a reference of the Necromancy Rituals. So there's a lot of rituals and rites. Rite must be performed around a pit with fire during nocturnal hours, during nighttime, because that is literally me. I'm just nocturnal 24/7. An Odyssey or Odious has a specific recipe which includes the blood of a sacrificed animal, concentrate a liberated of ghosts to drink while he reenacts prayers to both the ghosts and the gods of the underworld. Jesus, that's a big lore. So I'm just going to take a swig of blood as we contact with the spirits. Hooda harda, hoody harda. I don't know why I'm making jokes. It's actually really fascinating, and I hope you guys find it fascinating. This is also live over on twitch.tv Moogaround Radio, so if you want to check it out live, you can if you want. I don't mind. And ask questions, I'm down. Because I am much learning this as you guys are, so you're enjoying me in the voyage of lore. And so, the practices such as these vary from the Mudadan to the Gozzer, Jesus, these words, the Grotesca, were commonly associated with necromancy. Rituals can be quite elaborate, involving magical circles, wands, talismans, and incantations. The necromancers might also surround himself with morbid aspects of death, which is often included wearing the deceased's clothing and consuming food that symbolizes lifelessness and decaying, such as unleavened black beads and unfermented grape juice. Lovely. Some necromancers even went as far as to take part in the mutilation and consumption of corpses. So they kind of mutilated and ate corpses. Interesting. These ceremonies could carry on for hours, days, or even weeks leading up to the eventual summoning of spirits. Frequently they were performed in places of interment or other mechanical venues that suited specific guidelines of the necromancer. Additional necromancers prefer to summon the recently departed based on the premise that their revelations were spoken more clearly. This time frame was usually limited to the 12th month following the death of the physical body. Once the period elapses, necromancers would invoke the deceased ghostly spirits instead. Interesting. Now, I mean, going through that and there is a lot of different if you going some people went total hardcore, oh no, this is corpse, let's mutilate it and just consume it, and we'll have the power of death. I mean, sure. But obviously surrounding yourself with death aspects, morbid aspects of death, deceased clothing, consuming of food that symbolize lifelessness, black bread and beads and fermented grape juice, and a lot of skulls. I guess a lot of people use skulls, dead animal carcasses and all that, bones. Most of their shit was made out of bone jewelry and shit like that. I guess, yeah. That does sound pretty cool, but also terrifying when you think about it. While some cultures consider the knowledge of the dead to be unlimited, ancient Greeks and Romans believed that the individual shades we knew only certain things. The appearance of value of their consuls may have been based on things they knew in life or knowledge they acquired after death. Ovid writes in his Metamorphosis of a marketplace, or a marketplace in the underworld where the dead convene to exchange news and gossip. I mean, that sounds pretty cool. You know, you just nip down to the underworld. You know, there are a bunch of gossips, and they love to talk knowledge. I don't know. I mean, the afterlife. You could probably think that's what people do. Like, say if there is, I'm an atheist. Say if there is gods, if there is a heaven and hell, purgatory, or even underworld, and like there's just like, yeah, you know, there isn't really a heaven and hell. There's just the underworld. That's where people go and just kind of like chill. You know, body spirits. Or they just had an eternal rest where it's just like you have made peace with yourself and you go and have your own little heaven or some shit like that. Or your imagination kind of stays with you, and whatever you imagine what death would be like, that's what it is. I don't know. It's a whole concept you don't really want to get into. But I think, you know, they're probably like all like the big high brains like Albert Einstein, fucking Steve Jobs and all that shit. They're probably like talking like so much like, oh yeah, no, I know the Pythagorean theory and all that. I think that'd just be cool. Yeah. That would be pretty cool. They're just exchanging news, gossip and knowledge. That's pretty dope right there. Okay, so in the Mongolian, I think that's not Marabian, a collection of traditional Welsh or oral stories. The original, the ornate, from the 7th and 8th century, which was ultimately recorded onto a manuscript between 1350 and 1410. Records Bran gifting Miloswick, with new horses and gifts, including a magical cauldron. Magical cauldron, Perdanin, that brings the dead back to life. Okay, there is there's also several references to necromancers called bone conjurers among the Jews of the later Hellenistic period in the Bible. Okay, the book of Geometry, I think that's how you say it. Especially it warns the Israelites against engaging in the Canaanites practices of divination from the dead. Thank you, Bat Kid, for the for the gifted sub. Thank you, Bat Kid. As I sit here and talk about necromancy. Remember, you can watch this live over on Twitch. This will go up on YouTube as well. But you know, when thou art come into the land which the Lord thy God giveth thee, thou shalt not learn to do according of the abomination of the nation of those nations. What the hell? Cheers, Baggo. Like, there shall not be found among you or anyone who maketh his son or his daughter to pass through the fire, through what the fuck, through or you this divination or observer of time, or an enchanter or a witch, or a charmer or consoler with familiar spirits, or a wizard or a necromancer, for all who do these things are abominations unto the Lord, and because of these abominations the Lord thy God doth drive them out from before thee. That was a whole lot of old English that I had to try and say. Okay. Again, most religions did call a lot of magic, and I mean like probably like every single type of magic, abominations, the people that studied them, abominations, heresy to the Lord, and all that shitness, basically. Again, I talk about like, say in Dragon Age, magic's supposed to serve man, not rule over it. It's it's that concept. Again, magic should never rule over man. It should always serve. But shit happens. Though Mosaic law prescripted the death penalty to practitioners of necromancy. Damn. This warning was not heeded. So one of the foremost examples when King Saul had the Witch of Endor invoke the spirit of Samuel, a judge and prophet from Shiloh, using a ritual conjuring pit. However, the so-called witch was shocked at the perception of the real spirit of Samuel, for in I Sam it says, when the woman saw Samuel, she cried out in a loud voice. Samuel questioned his reawakening, asking, "Why hast thou disquieted me?" Saul did not receive a death penalty, his being the highest authority in the land, but he did receive it from God himself, as appropriated by Samuel during the conjuring. Within a day, he died in battle, along with his along with his son Jonathan, asking, "Why hast thou?" Oh, never mind. That was a full stop. Shit, I thought that was an exclamation mark. I'm blind. Some Christian writers, we go to the Christians. Some Christian writers rejected the idea of humans could bring back the spirits of the dead, interpreting such as shades are disgusting demons instead. That was conflating. Jesus Christ, English is hard. Conflating necromancy with demon summoning. Centurius of Athos entails his audience to put no shock in any demons or gods other than the Christian God, even if the workings of the spell appears to provide benefit. He states that the demons only acted with divine permission and are permitted by God to test Christian people. Interesting. Centurius does not condemn men here. He only states that the art of necromancy exists, although it is prohibited by the Bible. Okay. On the other hand, some Christians believe that necromancy is real, along with other facts of the occult magic, but the God has not suffered Christians to deal with those spirits. Still others believe the phantom of Samuel to be a trick, like the hoax conducted by many early 20th century illusion spirituals, which fooled those recording for the evidence of Samuel's life. Oh, holy shit, there's a bunch of fucking lore that we just read. Like, that was a bunch of from just different parts of the world. And then somehow we ended up with Christianity. Yeah. Like, damn. Jeez. Now that was just a freaking whole lot so from like Welsh, from fucking Egyptian, Persian, Babylonian, Greece, Rome. It's like, geez. And then we came to Christianity that once, and that was just fucking, what the fuck? Early and high Middle Ages. See, there's a whole bunch of lore. You also got the late Middle Age of Resistance, and then modern era. Let's have a look at the modern day, shall we? In present day, necromancy is more allegedly used as a term of describe the manipulation of death and the dead. Okay, death and the dead. Or the present, therefore, often functionally through the use of ritual magic or some kind of occult ceremony, contemplated by channeling and spiritualism. Jesus. Virtual or necromancy, when supposedly invoke spirits, are asking to reveal the future events or secret information. Necromancy is also present as Necromancy, a branch of theoretic magic. But there you go. Because of their themes of spiritual contact, the long-running show Supernatural Chicago and the annual Harrison Horn sentence, which both are held at the Excalibur nightclub in Chicago, Illinois, dubbed their lead performer Neil Toplin Necromancer. As a practice of necromancy, having enjoyed in one of the form or another throughout the millennia, the skilled killer of occultism states, the art is of almost universal concept. Okay. Sounds good. Then it's also just in popular culture, necromancy is worked in many fantasy fictions, often by villains who use it to raise armies of zombies that the hero must slay. Exactly, because as a necromancer, you're never pictured as the good guy, unless, I say this now, unless you are Dorian, because Dorian is the best. It's just that's I'm hearing stuff outside, getting scary. Kratos, I don't know. Is Kratos a bad guy? I don't know. I play the God of War. Yeah, he doesn't seem like a bad guy to me. Is there any good? Is there any other good necromancers? Probably in literature. Oh, apparently Merlin from DC Comics was a necromancer. Apparently, I don't know. Horn Knight, Black Cauldron, The Lich, and Adventure Time. Well, obviously anime and manga is still folklore. Merlin was technically a good guy. Hades, not bad guy. Hel/Hela from Norse mythology. Cyrus and Anubis. I mean, most of them are bad. Other than Merlin. Merlin was good. Am I biased to saying Merlin's good because Merlin was apparently like a part of my heritage? Or known heritage? Possibly. Possibly, I don't know. Let's see. It's Necromancer's Handbook. The dead make good soldiers. They can't disobey orders, never surrender, and don't stop fighting when a random body part falls off. Exactly. That's from Magic of the Gathering. That's great. I will show you the unwavering domain of a necromancer. Arise! See, it's... I do think necromancy is cool. Like, it's a pretty cool magic. It's not my favorite magic. Everyone knows my favorite magic is blood magic. But honestly, these are pretty cool. Pretty fucking cool. I'm not going to the whole Catholic fucking thing of it because that's a whole nother fucking thing I don't really want to get into. I mean, it's not. See, necromancy, it's always used for evil. There is like, it's always used for fucking evil. We need more good necromancers. Help me, dead. We must save the world. Raise the dead. Save your world. You must live for. You know, that, like, you know. See, that would have been pretty cool. I do think the best thing about necromancy is that the pain suppression is probably pretty good. Suppress the pain and all that. You know, or like death sense or some shit like that. Like you can sense that death is happening. You know, that would, yeah, pretty good ways. I mean, I'm trying to think. Like, honestly, trying to think how you could use it a whole lot better. But I guess necromancy is more of kind of, you know, you can use it for like other things, like other magic, I guess. I don't think it could be used for anything else other than just, obviously, resurrection. Life force. I mean, I guess you can drain life from people as well. That's pretty cool. Life absorption, so draining, so siphoning. It just basically just drain life from people. That's again bad. Again, not very good. Aura absorption, what's that? You can use the user can absorb auras whilst removing the source into their body, also gaining the form of their advantage, either by enhancing themselves, gaining their drain power. Use the source. Again, not good. Again, and not good. Yeah, none of this is really good. Ectoplasmic manipulation. Econesis. That just sounds cool. Users can create shapes and manipulate extra plenty of energy called ectoplasm. Which was, oh yeah. Again, pretty cool. Okay, right. I think that's done for necromancy. We talked a lot. We went into some fucking thou aren't be a necromancer. So these, I'm now just getting rid of everything. So these are now just a small, some small content that I kind of like to do because it's about magic, and I do love talking about magic. And so far we have hit into a really cool thing where I just want to talk about magic 24/7 at this point. But doing these episodes are giving me something else to do other than streaming and doing Milgo Around Radio. So I do hope that you enjoy these, and if you don't, and it's not your cup of if it's not your cup of tea, but you'll still support me in doing it. Big hearts to you, big hearts. If you enjoy Milgo Around Radio, where we just do Final Fantasy 14 and food, technically. That's great. Again, yeah, that is great. If you love that, there'll be more to that to come. We're not going to quit on that time anytime. This is just a thing I want to do other content. Thank you, Back Kid, for gifting a total of 29 subs on the channel. Big heart. Big heart. You make a grown man cry so hard. don't know why I went to that shitty ass accent. If you're from Scotland, I'm sorry. But just thank you. I as you see from Twitter, I say that I am a content creator, and I am a content creator. It's just doing the content. It's cool. If you want to see us play games and have it uploaded to YouTube, I'm sorry, but I don't think that's going to happen because that's a lot of work. Me and Chia just enjoy streaming because streaming's a whole lot better. You can find those streams where we do play a bunch of random games. I play a bunch of Mass Effect and Dragon Age and a bit of Final Fantasy as well, with a little bit of WoW. And so does Chili. Chili plays WoW and Final Fantasy and other games he enjoys. So if you want to come by that is at twitch.tv/MorganRoundRadio, where we have a lot of fun, we talk a lot of shit, and we're not a shit podcast, apparently. A lot of people enjoy it. You can also find me at PaulMiller1 on Twitter, where I do... What's the next week's magical lore? I don't actually know yet. Should we do elements? I think we should do some elemental magic. I think will be the next kind of dive into frost magic. Could do a bit of frost magic. Yeah, I mean we can do the frost magic, fire magic, and all that. We'll do that in a whole 4 elemental episodes, I guess. So I think frost magic would be a pretty good one. But that could also be tied to Death Knights as well from WoW, because they do have a specialization which is Frost, where they enhance the death magic of Frost, because apparently when you die you get very cold. Who bloody knew that, when you die, blood doesn't get circled around your warm body, because it's really the blood that's keeping your body warm. Unless I think that's right, I'm not... I didn't do very good in biology, honestly. But I think that's right. The only reason you are warm is because your blood is warm and it gets pumped around your body by your heart. And if that stops, of course you're going to get cold. I don't know where it's gone. So we're going to do frost magic next Monday. I do these every Monday, even though technically it's Tuesday for me, but I'd like to do these late at night because maybe Americans want to watch it, listen to it, get kind of creeped out when I kind of go into detail. Maybe. I don't know. It is 5:30 in the morning here. When I say I'm nocturnal, is that I am literally nocturnal. I sleep during the day. And yeah, I actually do sleep. So you can find this wherever. You can find this on Move Around on YouTube, because I will export this to YouTube or directly from Twitch. You'll just go straight up there. I think Chili was putting these on Podbeam. I don't know. But I shall look into frost magic. I shall get my books out. I shall go into the libraries of the magical libraries of Yonder. AKA it's called the internet, but it sounded cooler. Have a great day, ladies and gentlemen. Remember, magic is everywhere. Magic is in you. All you need to do is let it out in one way, someone. Have a great one, guys. Peace out. Magical energies end the stream and the recording.